Guys, welcome back to our channel. I didn't go golf, even though I look like I went golfing, but I did go to work. So I'm filming this. I'm taking a question from Reddit again, and it's a pretty good question. I think a lot of people will relate with this if they're in the real estate field. So I'll read the question, and I think it's like a three-part question. So, what are standard terms to offer when looking for private money to fund the down payment on a deal? I'm looking at funding a portion of my required down payment with private money and was wondering what terms are generally offered to investor. I don't want to offer too much or too little. Is it customary to offer a percentage of profit upon refinance? That'll be one question, I think. And after the refinance, I'll sell the property after a few years. Is it customary to offer a percentage of the sales profit too? I understand that limited partners usually exit a deal upon sale or refi, but not both. Has anyone done deals like this? What are the standard terms offered to the bigger investor? Great question. It's a very technical structure. It's more of a private equity structure. So the individual here is really talking about a GP and LP structure. GP is called general partner and LP is a limited partner. General partner is the manager, sponsor, that is actually raising money to do the deal. So the GP handles the day-to-day operation, are responsible for the investment objective from acquisition to disposition. Limited partner is the money partner. So they take a very passive role. They give you the bulk of the equity that is required, and they sit back and ensure that you are operating the property well and ensuring their investment is doing well as what you have projected or targeted on your underwriting or your pitch deck. That's one standard GP LP. I'm not sure if you're raising money for your GP portion. So no, I will kind of give it to you in two terms. So usually typical is GP comes with 5 to 10% of the equity required, and the limited partners funds 90 to 95%, which makes 100%. So as an example, if the deal is $10 million, you're going to get 50% loan to value loan from a lender. So that means you get $5 million loan. Then you have to raise $5 million of equity. So out of that $5 million, you might come up with 10%, right? Then the other comes up with 90%. So that is the GP LP relationship from the equity and the debt. Within the subsector of the GP, you may not have the equity to come up with the 10%. So you may go to your friends and family or other investors that got to participate as a co-GP, okay? So the co-GP gets a favorable structure already is because they take on the same amount of risk as the LP, but they're going to do slightly better in return because they're on the GP side, because you'll be charging fees, waterfall, promotes, acquisition, asset management, whatever the fees as customary. So in that co-GP is usually there is a preferred equity structure and a promo or profit share, okay? So that's how a lot of people will scale their business and will raise co-GP funds. So in that sense, there's going to be some form of percentage profit split. I mean, I can't tell you what's the standard. It all depends on how risky the deal is and how desperate you are for the money. So typically with the co-GP, you might be giving 8% prefer, 9% prefer, or 10% prefer return. What that means is initially when your investment comes in, whatever the money they gave you, you have to give out, let's use 10% of interest first, then return of their capital. And if there's remaining profits, because you did such a good job as a manager, there's going to be a profit split. Usually it could be 60-40, 50-50, and 80-20. So whatever you feel comfortable and whatever your GP, your co-GPs feel comfortable giving you. So that's what it looks like. Typically what I do is I just do a simple 80-20 split or 70-30 split, depending on the risk profile as well as how much active management I have to do for the deal. And the LPs has the same waterfall, but essentially they pay to the GP fund. So typical GP LP, there's one waterfall structure. We call it one promo. And now if you have a co-GP, so essentially is that profit you make from the LPs gets shared amongst your co-GP. So that's typically the standard. And all private equity has different models. Like for Blackstone, they'll give you like 6%, 7%. Brookfield, same thing. Apollo, Carlyle, very similar. However, if you're starting off and you're a boutique and you're raising money, no one knows you, right? If you're a nobody, why would someone give you money? So then you have to incentivize them to trust and value your expertise. But in return, you might have to give more returns to those partners who trust in you. I hope that answered your question, but it is a very technical way to do it, or you can make it very simple. In the beginning, try to make it simple. If you found this video content valuable, subscribe, like, add us comment, and we'll add more content.